Imagine a world where your every move is watched, where history is rewritten to suit the government, where you can't even think a bad thought because it's illegal. Welcome to Oceania, where the only thing that matters is Big Brother. Let me tell you how we got here. The year is 1984, and the place is Oceania, a superstate in a perpetual war with one of two other superstates. Oceania is ruled by a totalitarian government led by a figurehead known only as Big Brother. But it's really run by a secretive group of party elites who wield all the power and keep the populace in check through an organization called the Thought Police. It's their job to watch for any sign of rebellion or unorthodox thinking and snuff it out before it can spread. In this world, the truth is whatever the party decides it should be. All records are kept in the Ministry of Truth, where they're doctored to fit the party's narrative. And if anyone dares speak up, well, they just vanish, often to be heard from again in the infamous re-education camps. Outside the telescreens that track your every move, people live in fear of the Thought Police. Even the language has been altered to make it harder to express forbidden thoughts. Newspeak is designed to limit your vocabulary, so you can't even think of the things the party doesn't want you to think about. But Winston Smith, our protagonist, isn't like everyone else. He hates Big Brother and longs for a time before the party, when people were free to think and speak their minds. But he's not the only one. There's Julia, a free-spirited beauty who also despises the party. Together, they plot against Big Brother, engaging in forbidden acts like hugging each other, having sex, and reading books that have been declared unperson. They find solace in an abandoned farmhouse where they can be free from the watchful eyes of Big Brother. But Winston and Julia's rebellion takes a turn when they meet a mysterious man named Emmanuel Goldstein. He leads a secret resistance called the Brotherhood, which aims to overthrow Big Brother once and for all. But Goldstein turns out to be a traitor, selling the Brotherhood out to the party and capturing Winston and Julia. The two lovers are tortured and brainwashed, forced to betray one another and renounce their rebellion. In the end, Winston is broken, renouncing Julia and pledging his love to Big Brother. So, what does it all mean? Well, first off, the obvious. If you don't like your government spying on you, it's controlling the flow of information and taking away your basic rights, you probably shouldn't live in a place like Oceania. It seems pretty dystopian, right? But there's more to it than that. You see, the story isn't just about living under a totalitarian regime. It's also about the power of language and how it shapes our reality. You know how Winston and Julia can't even think of certain things because the language makes it hard? Well, that's kind of like how when we use language, we shape the way we think and see the world. When the party changes the truth, they change the way people think. And when people think differently, they behave differently. So, it's important to be aware of the language we use and the way it influences us. Another thing is how the party uses technology to control people. Remember those telescreens that are always watching? Well, they're kind of like the smartphones and social media that we use today. These technologies allow the party to keep tabs on people and control what they see and say. So, it's important to be aware of the impact of technology on our lives and to use it responsibly. And let's not forget about the importance of critical thinking. Remember when Winston and Julia started questioning the party's version of events and decided to seek the truth elsewhere? Well, that's kind of like how we need to be skeptical of what we hear and see and to question authority. When we stop thinking critically and blindly accept what we're told, we become like the citizens of Oceania, unable to think for ourselves. Finally, let's talk about the importance of individuality. Winston and Julia may not have been successful in their rebellion, but their love for each other and their refusal to conform to the party's expectations was still powerful. We need to embrace our individuality and be willing to stand up for what we believe in, even in the face of overwhelming odds.